everyone, Kristina here. And before we get into the reading for this week, I just want to preface the whole thing by saying the first part of it is a little rough, as far as like the energy coming out is a little harsh, and I do catch myself in the middle of it. But rather than try to re-record the whole thing again, I decided to leave it in and put it with the preface because the end of the reading does kind of reconcile that. I had attempted to record that message more than once, and it came out pretty intense and harsh both times. So I think that harsh energy is part of the deal. Bear with me getting through it, and just know that it does lighten up a little bit more toward the end. All right, thanks a lot, everyone. Here we go. Hello everyone, Kristina here with your Divine Love reading for December 12th through the 18th. Thanks for joining me. Couple of announcements up top. First of all, my $33 holiday special on Twin Flame readings is still going on, but this is the last week. Yes. So if you would like to take advantage of that dirt cheap deal, then I will leave that information down below. Also, December is my birthday month, and so as a special happy my birthday to you, I am putting my decks on sale. Buy one, get one free. So if you purchase the tarot deck, which is what I'll be using in today's reading, so you'll get a preview of those cards. Oops, there, here we go. So if you purchase the Divine Timing, if you purchase the Open World Tarot, then you will get the Divine Timing Healing Oracle for free, and that has some special qualities to it, the Divine Timing Oracle deck. So if you just keep your eyes peeled, I think I might make a separate video that features really that deck all by itself, and so you can get a sense of what that is. Let's see. I think that's it for announcements. Oh, information down below. Okay, got it. This week there's a lot of cards. The energy's a little crackly again, but it's crackly in a way that feels like it's going to be a little bit more, it'll be a little harder for us on our side. They're having some of their things going on, but it'll be harder for us because our job is to stay in our lane this week, and we will be getting some signs and some encouragement, I think, that might pull us toward kind of reaching out. And I will say, because this is a general reading, if you're getting called to reach out, then you should really be relying on very specific and clear messages from your guides to be doing that. Because as a general reading, what we're getting is stay in your lane, okay? And that's going to be hard, but it's ultimately good. I think when you see what's happening in the spread, it will make it a little bit easier to kind of deal with the energies. Another thing, there was something else about this reading this week, extra cards, and that, well, we'll just keep going. All right, okay, so, oh, right. So the way I do this, I don't assign the Divine Masculine, the Divine Feminine to each twin, okay? Because one of the things that has to happen for us to come into union is for each partner individually to balance out their individual feminine and masculine aspects. So this side of the spread, the first part of the spread, will have to do with us who are watching and engaging with this video. The second half of the spread has to do with your divine counterpart, who is somewhere else, not here in front of the screen with us. And for each partner, I pull a goddess and god card. So a divine masculine, divine feminine card for each partner, because these are the energies that are kind of working themselves out and are guiding us this week. Okay. All right. So now we'll get down to it. All right. So on our side, yeah, right? If you watched the December monthly reading, our side had as the thing drawing us toward divine love, the Ace of Cups. And there was a little discussion there about one version of that manifesting itself was as a relationship that is apart and separate from this union. And If you are a person who is dating outside of your union, then this is the week. Basically, you know what? The general message for that Ace of Cups was the thing that draws us toward divine love is having an epiphany, some kind of a transformational experience about our views toward love. Okay? And having this Lover's card is like kind of the flag, like this is the week when some of that stuff starts to come into your conscious awareness. Okay, it will be very difficult for you to go, oh, is this it? It'll be very, like this is it. All right, so if you are dating outside your union, the thing I want to point out here is, here's the 3D thing that's going on. So this is you and whoever your new person is. And if you're married, then this is you in your marriage. And this looming above them is your preoccupation with your counterpart. Okay? And what they're telling me right now is that you're not going to learn the lesson if this is taking up so much space in your mind. Okay? So even though, yes, of course, you're doing your weekly check-ins and all of that, and this is, the union itself is kind of in the back of your mind. The proportions need to be switched on this, okay? So when you're out smooching your new main squeeze, this needs to be, it needs to be this big in your mind, and then the union should be this small, all right? Because this is why there's a bunch of extra cards. I was like, ooh, can you tell me more about this? And the clarifier was the transformation card. So that's, this is that Ace of Cups thing. The epiphany that needs to happen is starting to happen this week. And basically what they're saying is get these proportions right. That the union, because you are in separation, the union needs to be a much smaller part of your, taking up less RAM, basically, okay? Now, if you're not dating outside the union, this is still an epiphany about love. And in some ways it's, looking at some of the other cards and the overall theme about staying in our lanes this week. This is about really just making yourself the big part of the picture. Make yourself the star of your own story. Okay, they can be in your story, but they're a side character. And right now we're reading a chapter that doesn't have them in it. So get this proportion right. Pulling us away from union is the Three of Deserts. This is like the Three of Wands. This is an interesting energy to have as the thing that pulls us away from divine love. I often call this the little red Corvette card. And it's the first lyric, basically. It's you're the kind of person who believes in making out once, love them, and leave them fast. I think that the way that these two cards are working together is that if you are in this thing because you have a pattern of just needing to be liked back, and then once the person likes you back, that's kind of it for you, and then you move on to the next thing, that pattern, that as a pattern, is the thing that's drawing you away from finding the love that that your higher self knows that you want, that you deserve, and that is supposed to be here for you. Now, the reason this is coming up is if that is a pattern, they're asking you to look at this union as possibly being another part, a more intense part of chasing something until you get it and then not caring about it anymore. And what's interesting is that on their side, they've got a card very much like that. I'll talk about it in a second, but I just wanted to kind of preview it. Until you address that, the thing in you that makes the runner-chaser story attractive, man, I actually already tried to record this, and I went on a huge rant about the runner-chaser story. And as I got into it, I was at 15 minutes, and I was still barely touching our side of these cards. So all I want to say about that is take a look at the dynamic if you are holding on to this runner-chaser story so that you can enable yourself to keep on being latched on to your partner, or to this person, because I think that if you are latched on to the story so that you can be latched on to this person, then you know what? You're probably not, this is not a twin for you. They are not that person. They are just another person who is more intensely making you always look toward the next horizon, always making you look toward the next thing. Okay? So I know that's a pretty tough thing to hear, I think, for some of you. For others of you that might not, I don't think that that's the case for everybody. I just want to put that out there. But what I do want to say is, if you are getting it, part of the twin flame experience and the divine love experience is this intuitive element where your guides will be training you. They'll be teaching you how to recognize communication from them. And if you are doing that, then their signs to you will be unmistakable. Okay? It won't be things like, oh, my twin is associated with pine trees. And oh my goodness, today I was in a place where today in my Facebook feed, my most favorite special pine tree photography page posted a pine tree. Can you believe it? That's obviously a sign. No, it is not. That is a page you followed. You've taught the algorithm how to give you things that you want. So no, that is not a sign. That is you being attached and creating, bending stories in order to enable your attachment. All right. Now, that is not to say that if you got, we'll stick with this kind of crazy pine tree example. Let's say that it's the pine tree thing, and there you are, kind of, maybe this might not work because it's Christmas time, but okay, so there you are walking down the street or something, I don't know, and just as you were having a fleeting thought about your counterpart, there on the sidewalk is this discarded pine tree. I know this is a ridiculous example. This discarded pine tree. What do you call those? Air fresheners. Like that hang from the rearview mirror of a car. And you see one of those on the street at your feet as you are having one of those fleeting thoughts about your counterpart. I'm gonna say, yeah, you can count that. Okay, but this other thing where if you find yourself having to do a lot of acrobatics about it, just do a spot check, do a little soul check on whether this is actually about a pattern that you have. Because, and let me come back to what this card is actually about. If your pattern is, I like people until they like me back, I care about making out with people until they want to make out with me, and then we make out and then I'm done, okay? Or maybe it's sex, whatever it is. If your pattern is wanting something while you can't have it, and as soon as you get it, you're done with it, because you always have to be looking for the next thing, that is a protection mechanism that keeps you away from divine love. And it doesn't matter who this person is on this side. That is the thing that is keeping you away from divine love. The love that is the high vibrational stuff, okay? So, yeah, I know, this is rough, okay? This is kind of a hard message, I think, to hear. This is the smooching on somebody else, but always having this other thing in the back of your mind a little bit larger, because it keeps you out of actual intimacy with this person who wants you. Okay? I know. Look, these messages are for me too, so I'm like, all right, but drawing us toward divine love is the Strength card. I do love this. This is the Divine Healer card to me. There's some elephants hold grief, as an animal guide. They have very long memories, and so this card is telling us that in order to draw ourselves closer to union, we need to heal these kinds of patterns. Okay, this hurt, this thing that makes us want to kind of, love them and leave them fast, as a way of kind of keeping ourselves out of any kind of intimate relationship. We need to heal that, we need to look at that, and that will draw us closer. Okay? Not just to this person, but to divine love as a larger concept. Okay? This person is one possible avenue for us to connect with it, like with another person in this 3D life. But ultimately, we have to connect with divine love first, and they have to make all of their free will choices to also connect with divine love in order for this particular relationship to be the manifestation of that connection to divine love. This is a concept that I have been hearing about, getting asked about, and it's becoming clear that I think I will make a separate video about this in particular. So again, be on the lookout for that. There's going to be a whole stream of videos coming out, so I'll just put that out there. I think what I want to do now, let's do the feminine and masculine aspects. So the feminine aspects that are guiding us right now, actually no, I'm going to start with the masculine. The masculine, we have Akkad, and the keyword is dedication. There we go. Sorry, a little bit of glare. And, the guidebook for this, I'm going to say it. I'm just going to read it to you because it was so exactly what the Three of Deserts was about. This will be just the little epigraph. It is time to complete a current project and dedicate yourself to your next venture. It is safe to commit. So that is a little bit of a mixed message about moving on to the next venture, as well as it's safe to commit. Okay? Basically what this is saying is, if you're doing the next venture, okay? Oops. I dropped my cards. Okay. Sure hope whatever's behind me was cleaned up because I didn't check. All right. I'm like, if this is clean and this is clean, everything's fine. Okay. So I hope I didn't leave a bunch of stuff on my couch. There we go. So if this is, what was I even talking about? Right. If this is your next venture, you got to be in it. I mean, you either need to be in it for, and I don't mean you got to go off and marry somebody else. It's not oh, now I'm just going to pour my heart into this person. That's not it. They're saying is be in this honestly. If you're trying to date somebody, be in that for exactly what it is, as if this doesn't exist, as if this whole side of the spread doesn't exist, as if this doesn't exist. Okay? Just be with them and figure out whether or not they're a good match for you, okay? And whether or not you can get closer to the kind of divine love that you know that you're seeking. Figure out whether or not this person is someone who's also helping you, do the transformation and move further down the path. That's what this commit thing is about. Date or don't date. I mean, that's really what this comes down to. If it's going to be all about them, then don't be dating. Then you stay home then. You stay home alone and wait around for them. What does that sound like? That's not good. Okay? Get on with your life. And do it like you mean it. Be in your own life like you mean it. They are really angry and impatient with me right now. So not angry, but impatient. So I'm fully hearing my own, this is a message for me too. So all right, now there are other, I needed to kind of break that up a little bit because it just felt like a lot of harsh energy going this way and I wasn't owning that it was mine. Okay? All right, now, the feminine energy though is Hecate, and her keyword is illumination. I'm actually going to jump over and directly address what their divine feminine aspect is. They have Persephone. And if you're not familiar with this story, basically what happened is Persephone gets stolen away by Hades and And heck, I don't know what my pronunciation thing is. Like, I want to pronounce it like Tecate, like the beer. I'm from New Mexico. What do you want? um, I'm just going to keep going. But so she goes down and basically is kind of lighting the way through the darkness, okay, in order to rescue Persephone. And the reason I just decided to skip and go directly to this is because this is why it's important for us to stay in our lanes. On our side, there's a little bit of, in twin flame experiences, there is often a codependency element that needs to be addressed in this side, okay, in one of the partners. There's a rescuer, the runner chaser. It's like the rescuer and the one who needs to be saved, and they are often the runner, if we're going to stick with that language. And so basically what they're getting at with these two cards, I was like a little bit beside myself when this one came out for them. I was like, oh, okay. All our job is right now is to be on our side, be the lighthouse. Lighthouses don't have feet or wheels, okay? Lighthouses don't go running out to sea to go usher in boats, right? They stay put and they just shine their light, okay? And that is what we need to be doing on our side. Just stay put, shine our light, go do whatever we're doing, because this person or whatever epiphanies we're having about love they make our light shine brighter, okay? Their side, this is just letting you know that they're doing this. They're kind of in that dark space, and they are just they're being led by us. And I'll stop talking about this now and come back to it. Okay, now on their side, and this is why it's relevant. On their side, current energies surrounding them is the Queen of Forests. Queen of Forests, Grizzly Bear, is Dreamtime Transformation, which is, like I said, a continuation of last week's energy. And this is very good news because the clarifier I had on this was the Six of Deserts. This is like the Six of Wands. This is a card of triumphant return. This is not the triumphant return to you. This is the triumphant return to themselves. Their best sense of what word was that? Their best sense of themselves. They're returning to that. They are starting to rediscover their own potential and start to go after it a little bit more. So this is, like I said, they, last week with that card, like they can hear you. They're carrying you with them. Like we're carrying them with us in a way that's not super healthy. We're just in their ears, and it actually is producing the kinds of shifts that bring them closer to themselves, to divine love. And so it's more of this, that dream time, all the dream work that's going on. It's happening in the 3D, or excuse me, it's happening in the 5D. So we don't need to be doing anything. Our 3D needs to be taken up with making this the big part of the picture. Okay. Drawing them, I'm going to talk about these two together as well. Drawing them toward divine love and away from divine love. So toward love is the Eight of Deserts. Away from love is the Knight of Deserts. And this is another instance where it's two very similar energies that when used correctly, draw them toward. When used incorrectly, pull them away. So both of these are very fast-moving animals. When they, it seems that whatever is happening on their side, when they just get an idea, they just fully throw themselves into it. What pulls them away, though, is the cheetah, who can lose interest. They'll be all about it, but then as soon as they're bored with it and done with it, they are done with it. Okay, and that is us too. Okay, so everybody's got their parallel. All the parallels are happening. This is them being like totally able to go get something, and then they get it, and then they're done with it. But then we have the Eight of Deserts. This is also about running, okay? This is, and if you want to really get into this runner-chaser thing, this is about them chasing, and this is about them running away. But, okay, but this is the energy that draws them toward love. So this is not actually about the running away, but, you know, these animals. In this particular image, it's about running away from something. But I think this is, remember we were talking about, I love this pile of bullshit that is just going to be a character for all of us now. This is them now picking up momentum in their departure away from their stuff that they need to leave behind. Okay. This is also, you know, antelope are problem solvers. So this is not about them running away from their problems, but about them going, this is a problem and I need to not have it in my life anymore. So I need to go. And now, I didn't pull this out of the deck, but I think the card that we had, I want to say it was in the monthly, was the Eight of Seas, which is about walking away from something that doesn't serve us anymore. This is about like, no, this, not only does this not serve me, this is so bad for me that I gotta go. I gotta go now. All right, so that's a nice little bit of encouragement about them picking up momentum, committing to like leaving some stuff behind. Also with them, they don't stop running because they lose interest in running. They stop running because they are no longer in danger. All right, cheetahs stop running because they're bored or they caught the thing. Okay, but this is because this is about drawing them away from divine love. This is their tendency to just stop doing something because they get bored with it. Okay. All right. So their masculine element is Ba'ayame. This is an Australian god of beauty, and you know. Okay. This week, their feminine and masculine are not interacting with one another. This was just like, this is the messenger to tell us that our shining our light, being the Hecate. I don't know why I keep doing that. It doesn't matter. Okay, being her. It's not even that hard of a word. Okay. But being her is like being the lighthouse for them. And then this is them like following that light. You know, like us being in their ears. And this, what I think is really interesting. So he is a god. You can see he's, his eyes are visible, but his mouth is covered. And, oh, here we are with this dumb light thing going on again. All right, so this is actually about, in Australia, this is an Aboriginal god. This is the great creator, basically. And so all of the animals and all of the, you know, all of creation, it's this beauty that has been made by the divine, by divine source. And so this is about like seeing. They're starting to be able to see. And the mouth is covered, so this is, again, another little message to us, like, don't expect them to reach out and talk to you, okay? That's not going to be the thing that happens, but just know that your sign, I don't know why I keep doing this, the piling up of cards, your dreamtime work, them seeing you in dreamtime, and whatever gets accomplished in that dreamtime is having the effect. And just for what it's worth, this little bird here, it's like it's a hatchling of some sort. This little bird is, it's kind of a disturbing aesthetic. You know, it's a harsh aesthetic, this artist, but they're just saying is like, even like it's kind of like the little bird in their ear. Okay, they can hear you, they can see you, but they're not. This is not a week when reaching out is going to happen on their side. So you also should not be reaching out to them, or else like whatever reaching out you've already done, like in the dream space, done, or you know whatever it is that whatever action you took It's done. Like you've done your part. Okay, you don't need to be doing anything else besides staying in your lane. Okay. All right. Moving now to the overall energy for the union. We have the forgiveness card, and this is why it's actually really important to kind of do the staying in the lane thing. It seems that there may have been some kind of transgression between the two of you that precipitated the separation. Whatever it was that had you guys part ways, there was a transgression there, and it's actually, this doesn't feel like you needing to forgive them. It's like they need to forgive. They're the ones, they're holding the forgiveness bag this week. They need to forgive themselves for their stuff, which actually that's a much longer road, but they are becoming aware that they need to kind of get on that. They are also, it seems that whatever the dream work that's going on, it's like they have their own little epiphany of forgiving you for whatever the transgression was. And in a lot of ways, it's like like you don't even necessarily know what you did. You didn't mean to. It doesn't even matter. Or you totally know what you did and you're like, yeah, I would do it again. I'm not sorry. Okay? So this isn't, it's just like they kind of work it out on their side and go, I think I might, this is, it's like, I think this might be mine. Kind of like that weird, harsh talk I was doing earlier. It was like, oh, sorry, you all out there. The big heavy tone of that was definitely for me, but it was also, I personally wouldn't like to be, I don't like sending that kind of harsh energy out, but it was like, well, it's coming out this way, and it came out this way twice, so it seems like maybe some of you out there needed to, it was like the only way you would hear it, so for whatever that's worth. But this is, I'm seeing these stars again too, so this is more of that dream. It's happening in the dream space. Like this whole month is dream space time. So, but just know what you need to know on this side, for us, is that it's all happening. We don't get to have access to it. We just have to have that blind trust and faith that everything, what's for us won't miss us. We can't outrun it. We're going to continue, stuff is going to persist one way or another until we kind of heal all the stuff. Here's that Rumi quote. Ours is not to seek for love, but to seek within for the barriers, all the barriers we've built against it. Okay? It's like if we are finding ourselves in separation, not from this person, but in separation from divine love, it has more to do with whatever barriers we've built against it, or whatever we continue to build against it, because, well, divine love is scary. Like, I gotta really be in that. So rather than be in that with this person who seems to be offering this big old honking cup of love, I'm gonna keep on having this other person in my mind. That's the thing that pulls us away. Okay, so I can hear myself just being repetitive. So I'm just gonna move on to the next part. The advice for the week is, okay, so it does get nice. I had to pull an extra card. Before I even pulled this card, they were like, go get the other deck. So I had to get up. Chop wood. So the whole quote is chop wood, carry water. This is about staying in our lane. Okay? Go about your business. Go be in this thing if you're going to be in it. Or don't be in it. Like, if you know that you're like, oh, no, I'm carrying my torch. Well, then carry the torch and know that you're not being fair, and then be honest about that, and go do your internal work about what's with me, But here's where it gets nice again. What you want wants you. Okay, divine love wants to come in, and it's gonna find a way to do it, whether it's sending you new people to trigger you and it's not to trigger you, because that sounds far more uncomfortable. Whether it's sending you people to kind of be training wheels for divine being with divine love, then be in it, do it, because it's part of the path that gets you to the thing that you want. Trust that the entire path is the entire path, and it's all leading to the place where you want to go. This is lovely. This is very encouraging. It helps to explain why this, God, this light, why this is going to be worth it. Yeah, let's stay with this one. Okay, what you want once you are acting as, you are the light. Okay, you're their light. They're seeking you. They're following you. It's happening in the 5D. They can actually see the little signs. You know, that kind of dumb pine tree example I gave earlier. You know, on our side, we have a lot of our signs and symbols that are associated with them. And they have some too for us. And so they are seeing, we are present for them, even though we are not, like all of our self, even though all of that is not present for them. We're with, it's that balance card again. We're with them. They can't escape us either. So the little signs, the little symbols, the little animals and stuff that come crossing their paths that are associated with us, for them, they're getting the us pine tree air fresheners in their path too. Okay, so have some trust in that. I mean, really, I know there's a lot of harsh stuff that came out in this reading, but ultimately ultimately it's always headed toward divine love. We are always headed to divine, like we are headed to divine love. And whether this person is the one who meets us there, or if it's a different person who meets us there, we're headed to divine love. That is the ultimate destination for this. It's not, we really have to let go of it being about this person. That's so much pressure to put on one individual, and they have free will choices. We were each brought into each other's lives in order to kind of provide that spark to get us on our own healing path, to break down the barriers that we've built against love. Now, because everybody's got free will choices, if they decide that they're going to go do this instead of this, I mean, basically, it's like these two things are sort of the same. It's like they're running away from the destructive stuff and towards safety. Okay, we are moving toward healing, toward, emotional safety. So if they can decide to do that or decide not to, and you can see for them, that choice for them is very precarious. The line is so thin and so very, very gray. So that's why we have to fully be in our own lane and not obsess, not intervene, not, be sending all of our energy, all of our healing. Yeah, like, right? If you do any energy work, do not be sending that to them. That's not, they have to actually be in the dark space, okay? They need to be Persephone in the dark, and all we can do is shine the light. All we're going to do is shine the light. We're not going to lay hands on, okay? I just dropped another card. Right, so I think I'm now beginning to just be repetitive and ramble on. So let's go to our Easter egg for the week. If you got this far and are still watching, as you know, for a few of you, there was an Easter egg last week, and so this week's Easter egg is up here, there we go. Up here in the corner, the opposite corner as our little owl friend, is our David Bowie friend. So if you send me a private message on Instagram or Facebook, I will send you a special Bowie message. And just one last reminder about the $33 holiday special on the Twin Flame readings and the special on the buy the tarot deck and get the Oracle deck for free. All right. Take care, everyone. Get through this week. Stay in our lanes. We can do it. All right. Take care.